Recent UFC event at Madison Square Garden, we see President Trump walking out epically with Dana White, Tucker Carlson, Kid Rock, Don Jr., 20,000 people going wild. And then there's this. Comedian Bill Burr, his wife, giving the double middle fingers to President Trump. Whoa. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Probably the most American thing we've ever seen is this UFC walkout. President Trump, Dana White, who is just a based, freedom-loving guy, Tucker Carlson, Kid Rock, he assassinated Bud Light, you've seen that clip, and of course Donald Trump Jr., whose wit I really appreciate. So, at the UFC event from the past weekend at Madison Square Garden, sellout crowd, 20,000 people, they're walking out, and we're not playing the music, just copyright, but Kid Rock's song American Badass is playing. The crowd goes nuts. And this is 20,000 people in New York City. Now, granted, some of them I'm sure traveled in, and some of them I'm sure are very local, but just really encouraging to see this arena full of people, the vast majority of them just going absolutely nuts in support for President Trump. They loved it. And of course, epic having Kid Rock, Tucker Carlson, Don Jr., and Dana White right there. And before we get to the controversial part, just listen to this clip of the crowd starting to chant USA. They love him. Could you imagine if this is Biden? You know, he shows up in a basement. He's like, why is nobody here? Nobody cares about you, Joe. But the controversial part, Bill Burr, who I do think is one of the absolute greatest comedians living today. He was sitting next to his lovely wife, and it appears as though she's not a Trump fan. Let's take a closer look. There it is. Wow. So there is President Trump. There is Bill Burr. He doesn't know what's going on. And there is his wife. Double middle fingers. You'll see some articles in the media like, was she directing that at President Trump or was she directing it at the camera? She's directing it at President Trump. That's clearly obvious. What do I think about this? First of all, her flipping off President Trump, I think is certainly a classless move. Yet it's an element of her right to free speech. So I love America. I love that she has the right to do this. Do I think she kind of looked like an idiot? Yes, I do. But I love it when idiots have the right to identify themselves by saying and showing what they think out loud. This is also not surprising. Bill Burr and his wife, they're Hollywood people, and she's quite Hollywood. She's an actress, a producer. I have no idea what she's acted in. I don't think she's that high of a level of an actress, but they live in Hollywood, so it makes sense. Right? She, California, Hollywood, she's, I think, probably suffers from Trump derangement syndrome quite a bit. So this in no way is a surprise that she feels this way. It's maybe surprising that she was willing to look that classless in front of, well, I'm sure at this point, millions of people have seen this clip. And there's a lot of mainstream media covering this, and I'm a little surprised at how they're covering it. You'd expect mainstream media to be like, she flipped off President Trump, and thank God she did that, even though we don't believe in God. Yeah, the mainstream media, they're kind of like seemingly leaning towards like, yeah, that was kind of classless. By the way, probably the thing that pisses off Bill Burr's wife the most is that she's referred to as Bill Burr's wife. Like, hey, lady, we don't even know your name. And we also don't care, Bill Burr's wife, how you doing? Here's an article. This is why he stopped being funny. Bill Burr's wife seemingly flipping off Donald Trump at UFC 295 triggers controversy. Now, I mean, I'm not going to just pile on and be like, well, his wife flipped off President Trump, so he isn't funny, he's stupid. No, Bill Burr is absolutely funny, and he didn't stop being funny at any point when she flipped him off or before, even though I think he's got a certain level of wokeness in him. I think she has a lot of wokeness. He seems to be awake to some things, but also like he kind of surfs the wave of the narrative a little more than my choosing. But yeah, like, let's just be real. He didn't stop being funny, so this article is misinformation. He is hilarious. One person wrote, "This is why Bill Burr stopped being funny. I will never forgive her." Well, she also probably doesn't care about this person's forgiveness. She's upset because nobody knows her name and just calls her Bill Burr's wife. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's probably why she feels upset. How woke is Bill Burr? Well, let's take a quick look at this clip of him talking about the jobs and see if we can tell this clip is being shared around quite a bit now in the wake of his wife's gesture towards President Trump.
I got really into vaccines during COVID. I can't stop getting them now.
Do they make you
got the shingles one. I got my second one.
Do they make you sick?
The shingles one, the first time I felt a little weird. And then the second one, I had a little bit of a headache the next day. But like, to not have like shingles, whatever the fuck those are.
Yeah, so that clip that's going around is being pushed around as evidence of how woke Bill Burr is. Clearly he's kidding in that, like, he's doing a joke. However, I haven't listened to his podcast for quite a while, but last time I did, it would have been maybe a year into Carlson, and he was talking about like, guys, is it that hard? Just put the mask on. I would guess he has been jabbed. So again, there's no questioning he is a funny person, one of the greatest living comedians alive today. Is he super woke? No. However, my perception of him is he has a mild case of wokeness. But very importantly, from this UFC Trump Tucker Carlson Kid Rock walkout, it raises speculation around what if Tucker Carlson is Trump's running mate? And here you see, wow, what a beautiful picture this is. Even before the UFC event, I had heard murmurings, and like murmurings are oftentimes not true, but nonetheless, I heard murmurings of, well, Tucker Carlson could be Trump's running mate. And of course, seeing them together at the UFC event, raises more speculation. But also, Trump was there with 20,000 other people, so they're not all going to be his running mate. However, I'll tell you what I think of a Trump-Tucker ticket. I think highly of it. I think Tucker Carlson is very oriented around pursuing truth. Read one of his books. I've listened to him a lot. I've had the chance to talk with him. And I think he is someone who is extremely well informed about politics and stuff like that. He's someone who is very well informed, seeing the hand of tyranny that likes to disguise itself as a helping hand. The devil masquerades as an angel in disguise. Yeah, but if you see the devil, it's not disguised anymore. You see it, you call it out. Tucker has called out more tyranny than maybe anyone else, and some would say that's why he got fired by Fox. He's the one that released all the J6 footage that shows, look, they're being let in by cops there. This is very peaceful. The J6 footage that they were trying desperately to suppress. That's just one example of Tucker being, in my opinion, a true freedom fighter. Couple that with the fact that he is very smart, very well informed on the American landscape. I think he would be a great running mate. I don't wish that on Tucker Carlson. I think his life is already challenging enough because he's so well known and he's such a threat to the establishment and deep state that his life is probably pretty challenging as it is right now. Yet he is so mission oriented. He's a warrior. He keeps going anyway. But if he was vice president, his life would obviously get more challenging. But I also think we need the type of people in office, higher offices like president, vice president, who don't want to be there, but they feel a call to be there so that they can serve our country, even though that's probably a massive self-sacrifice. Do we need more people in office that want to be in office? No. Those people are most likely just out for a sense of significance, control, and power. Those are the seeds of tyranny when you desire those things. But if you desire to be of service, that's the type of people we need more of. So I think Tucker Carlson would be great for the job. And this is very different than when you hear people say like, hey, The Rock and Oprah or Michelle Obama. How about Michael? Yeah. People like them. What if they ran for president or were vice president? Yeah, they wouldn't know what the heck they're doing. It's kind of like if I got into office, it's like, dude, the country would probably be worse than how Biden's governing it. I would have good intentions. I would just be an idiot. That's why I would destroy it. Biden's doing some intentional destruction. So I do think Tucker Carlson would be really well qualified for the job, especially the fact that through his living example, he has drawn a distinction between himself and the corrupt media, the pharmaceutical industrial complex, military industrial complex. He's called these things out. So he has distinguished himself where it really appears as though he's not a captured person. We shall see what happens. But in the meantime, we can just fantasize about a Tucker Carlson, President Trump ticket. By the way, here's a thought. If Tucker was willing to do it, it would be so smart of Trump to have Tucker as his vice president running mate, because Tucker is vastly popular. Elections, assuming they're free and fair, it's a conversation for another day. It's a popularity contest. I mean, can you imagine Biden and Harris legitimately getting more votes than Trump and Tucker? The physics of it probably say it's impossible. Like, yeah, that's like gravity pushing you up. It just ain't gonna happen. There's no way. So I think it would be a wise move to have Tucker. But nonetheless, that's it for today's video. We see Bill Burr's wife showing you who she is, flipping off President Trump. But we've got 19,999 other people just losing their minds, cheering for President Trump in New York City, which is just a beautiful thing. It's a positive sign. It's us just kind of reiterating and having reaffirmed, yeah, it ain't a few crazy extremists who support President Trump. So many people have woken up over the past few years. So it's very encouraging to see this New York crowd in a sold-out arena, the vast majority of them voicing and acting out support for President Trump. One other thing, this is good. And this other thing is about how based Dana White is. I happen to agree with him politically about a lot of things. He supports President Trump, which is great. But more important than that is how principled Dana White is. He doesn't cower down like, hey, I support President Trump, but I better not vocalize that because I'll get canceled. It could be bad for business. Yeah, I think it's bad for business not being yourself. So take a quick look at this clip of Dana White, who proudly brings out President Trump at his events, walks next to him. It's just amazing. So take a look at this clip.
Me too. This happened to me. I posted a video for Trump, right, on my personal social media. And one of our big sponsors called and said, take that down. You know what I said? Go yourself.
Yeah. There you have it. I think that's someone who's willing to stand on principles rather than cowering down to sponsors. He has accepted Bud Light as a sponsor, so that's interesting. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you on our next video. But before that, I got a special message from an amazing sponsor for you. Did you know you're not going to be healthy and have strong, vibrant energy by accident? To do so, you need quality nutrition. and Organifi helps. Organifi is a line of certified organic superfood blends that offer high quality nutrition, less than 3 grams of sugar per serving. It's delicious, and it makes it easier than ever to get the high level of nutrition you need if you want to feel great. The amazing range of vitamins, minerals, micronutrients, and antioxidants that Organifi offers, it would take you hours each day if you were to do your own juicing with fruits and vegetables, cleaning the thing. And I don't know about you, but I don't have the time to do that, and I'm not gonna do it. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that anymore because Organifi has become an essential part of my morning routine. If you wanna stop pretending that you're gonna be healthy and feel great by accident and take matters into your own hands, then I'd invite you to browse the Organifi shop at Organifi.com/JP. And while you're at Organifi.com/JP, be sure to use the code JP for 20% off any item. Plus, Organifi is offering a potent Black Friday only sale where you get 20% off plus free shipping. No minimum order required. It's never been easier to load up on all the essential organic superfood nutrients that you need. So once again, just go to Organifi.com/JP and be sure to use the code JP. Happy health, my friend.